Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. I hope you're well, and if you have some time today, I would love if you journal with me. Today I'm grabbing a cup of coffee, so I hope you grab whatever you enjoy. Working in two of my creative journals. This happens to be a Hobonichi day free, and I'm also going to work in my altered book junk journal today for a couple journal spreads. I have started this page. I'm well into it. I actually started the video, and then outdoors a lawnmower was mowing. So I had to cut out the first clip. So I'm already well into this May journal spread. And on the left-hand side, I really have a fun sort of full page spread with magazine images, washi tape, all about a planter. I'll tell you about that in a second. And on the right-hand side, I made a tip-in for some journaling about my week. So the tip-in comes from this really cute planner. It's called Avian Friends, Gallison.com. A few people have asked me about it, and I've had to repurpose it. I'm not really using it as a planner anymore, but I absolutely love the bird images in it. So they've become tip-ins and things in my journals. On this left-hand side, it's funny, but why do you do a full page spread on a planter? And it's one of those things I love about journaling, just the tiny stories in your life that you will not remember probably won't remember if you don't add them to your pages. So we had a great planter last summer on our front steps. Here's the new one in the picture. I backed it with some magazine images. I just tore out some other flowers to back it so it wasn't floating on the page, and put a little washi tape around it. And anyways, we had this planter last year, loved it. And when I live in New England, so the seasons change. We have the great 4 seasons. It looks so pretty even in the fall. Usually the flowers of course die. And then in the winter, I sort of pushed it back, let the snow just fill it up, and kind of forgot about it. So this spring, of course, when I was starting to do a little bit of gardening and around the house and outside. Well, I guess you do gardening outside, not around the house, but spring cleaning and all that. One of my kiddos said, "Mom, when are you going to get the dead plants off the front steps?" So done. The new planter's there, and I definitely let that linger. So little celebration of the new planter. And also, it's one of those fun little things. I almost never pick orange in flowers. That's rare for me. I love yellows and pinks, but this one was really pretty. Actually, got the planter at Costco, by the way. If you have a Costco near you and you're in May, probably still have them. And it's just really sweet. So we'll see how long this planter will last. If next May there'll be another planter page in the journal, but I love that. Just those little everyday life things are what I tend to journal about. Is that something that you do too? I think it's the way that we memory keep as journalers can be really simple. What you ate, some of the things from just everyday living. And speaking of that, on the right-hand side, had some good hummus this week, and I've never tried the Starbucks instant coffee. A friend gave me those little packets, so it was a great pick-me-up one day at work, so I just clipped that on the tip-in on the right-hand side. So at this point in the journal session, I'm going to put a few more doodles and think about what I want to document. I usually write a few things across the week. I call it my week in review. I don't do daily journal pages in the Hobonichi, mostly 2 pages a week, and just, again, the little things in life that I want to remember for the first week in May, which is in our area, as I said, beautiful with spring. Although my voice, I have to say, a little bit of allergy still hanging in there, so pardon that. Trying to get through through the pollen and the flowers still. The next journal spread I'm going to work on, I found some fun things from two journalers this week. I was watching some YouTube videos. Let me grab the journal. Here it is. This is my second current journal, my altered book junk journal. And I kind of have a vibe in here of some windows and doors throughout, just playing with those images. So this week I found a fun door image, and I'll link that in the description box in a minute below, and also some painty pages. So I'll share that in a minute. This first image of a window box, I just Googled pretty window boxes, and I cut out, I'll show you, I don't know if you can see that well, I just punched the a circle punch so that you could see the actual flowers which were on the book page underneath. And I'm going to play more and alter that in a different session, but I got that on. And I don't know about you, I often don't finish pages. Do you find that you're a journaler who kind of works at a few pages at a time, or goes, especially in a junk journal, I think? In a junk journal, I tend to not always journal in order. I end up putting, finding a piece of ephemera like this beautiful door, and just being inspired by different pages. So here I have Arteza metallic paint. I love that. And just some random acrylic craft paints that I've had in my stash. And on the left-hand side, this comes from Gayle Augustinelli's inspiration. I'll link her in the description box below. She does a lot of junk journaling. You probably know her. Has a great YouTube channel. But she does this mixed media Monday. So that's where I got the idea for the painty pages. And then Barbara, who was very generous, she's 49 Dragonflies, gave that beautiful turquoise door as a free download this week in one of her videos, which I again will link below. I think she calls it I believe it's like journal snacks or something like that, but I'll link the exact video so that you can go. And I love that. She took a picture of that door just walking in her neighborhood. So this is what Gayle did. She doodled, painted with, I think, acrylic paints. I'm pretty sure on that. And then she doodled with a variety of pens images on the painted paper. So I thought that was a great idea. This big image that I did, I decided to just use it as a background. I'm thinking about, on this right-hand side, using the painty pages without the doodles as a background and getting it on there. I think that will be fun. Yeah, because it matches up with the pretty turquoise in this door. I did a little shadow there, so I think I'm going to glue that down, a shadow in front of the door with turquoise paint. All right, some gluing happening. And then I also took a moment to try to find a quote about doors, because I love putting quotes in my journals. And I think it's especially fun no, I do it in both creative journals. I was going to say in just a junk journal, but I do really like them in both. So my idea on this journal spread is to use that tracing paper, which kind of has a frosted effect. And with these bright colors, it's almost like a little window that you can see this gorgeous door from Barbara 49 Dragonflies. I love that. So I'm playing with positioning because when I made this altered book junk journal, which I do have in a playlist if you care to see or want to make one, it uses a hinge method. And that little bit of book page is a hinge, so I have to kind of go right on the page in order to see the door. And I found this great quote by Joseph Campbell, and I'm thinking about using this on the page. I used a Posca pen, but as on tracing paper, by the way. Finish that thought. But as I look on it on the page, I'm not sure. It's a little bit big because when I originally thought about using it on the page, I was going to center the door, so I'm not sure yet. And now I'm going to pull out this Yes paste. It is a great supply, by the way. One of my art teacher friends recommended it for collage. Get a big old tub of it so it lasts a while. And this is a kind of like a spatula brush. I think it's called a silicone brush. So I'm getting the Yes paste on. So I hope your spring journaling or whatever season you're in is going well. And if you want to get this beautiful free image, check out Barbara. And if you want to get some painty inspiration, check out Gayle. And you can play around with their beautiful images and techniques in your journal too, especially if you like bright colors, which is definitely something I love. Although they're both very much vintage journalers, actually, they use muted tones. If you go to these particular videos, you'll get these more of these pops of color, which tends to be my journaling preference. I love vintage, but I tend to, I think, journal more in different palettes of color. Palettes of color, that sounded fancy. Okay, I like that. It has that frosted glass window effect to see that beautiful door. Now it is floating, so I'm either going to have to paint like a little road to it or revise my quote to a better size. And I think I'll just repurpose that quote in another place because I do love it. But it's not going to work there. So happy journaling to you. Thank you so much to all subscribers. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much for watching.